Thank you very much. I spent last night worrying about my family, my little boys, and everyone in Israel who spent the night under the attack from Iran. It is not easy to be far away from home on such a day, but I am happy to be able to be here among friends, in this room, full of people who love Israel and care about peace. Speaking of people who care about peace and love Israel, I would like to thank the NIF family, Daniel, Orly, Shimrit, and Itamar in the US, and Miki, Rachel, Shira, Yuval, Antigona, and the entire Israeli team for your determined efforts over many years to preserve the body and soul of Israel. As an Israeli activist, I have learned from day one that when you are in trouble and in need of support, the first phone call you make is to the New Israeli Fund. You are the 911 call for Israeli activists, and God knows we need that support. A big personal thank you to the Gallanter family for this award. Linda and Sandy, it is a great honor for me and gives me an opportunity in the midst of the grueling reality of ongoing protests, war, and bitter political struggle to lift my head up and enjoy a brief moment of fresh air. So thank you for that. Yes, definitely clapping, definitely. I'd like to use this opportunity to thank some of the people whose faces I recognize in the crowd. Rabbi Brian Lurie, Erwin and Seppi Federman, Charles and Naomi Kramer, Terry and Carol Vinograd, Howard Son and Ben Linder, which I don't see your faces, but I know you're in the crowd. I am excited to see you all here tonight. Your longtime support, faith, and friendship to me and to Have You Seen the Horizon Lately is a tremendous source of pride and honor. So thank you. As you might know, my receiving of this generous award was announced more than 6 months ago, before October 7th. On October 15, I was supposed to be standing on this very stage to share our work, to speak to you about our work at Have You Seen the Horizon Lately, to promote Jewish-Arab partnership, to share my experiences in the protest leadership, and to describe my efforts to bring Arab voices to the protest stage, for which I was awarded this prize. On the morning of October 7th, my mother was supposed to come over to take care over my 2 little boys, which I currently miss terribly, Ari and Lev, so that I could prepare for the huge rally on Kaplan Street that we planned for that evening, as has been happening every Saturday for the past 9 months. But then, our world was shattered. 1,200 were brutally murdered. Women and men, elderly, over 80 years old, and babies not even 1 year old, were all taken into the depths of hell that are the tunnels of Hamas. Some have been since released, some killed in captivity, while the rest are still held hostage, waiting for the release deal that is already much overdue. A few months later, when the folks from NIF called to tell me that the canceled ceremony from October was rescheduled for April, and to ask if I could make it, my stomach turned. I felt unsure if I could get up on stage and speak to you. For one thing, the activities that awarded me this prize have long been archived since that terrible Saturday. But more so, I need to be honest and share with you that it is hard for me to receive this award. Because as an Israeli activist of over 10 years, I can't help asking myself if we could have prevented October 7th and the war that followed. Maybe if we recruited larger crowds to the protests. Maybe if we managed to elect a different government. Maybe if we didn't allow the conflict with the Palestinians to slide off the table where the extremist right-wing parties took control. Maybe. Lately, in Israeli protests, you can see people holding signs in English. We are not our government. Have you seen them? We are not our government. It is true. We are not. We are the exact opposite of what it represents. But we are responsible for it. I feel responsible. This government has risen because we did not do enough. And we didn't do enough to prevent October 7th. I didn't do enough. And yet, here I am talking to you, here in this night. Why? Because that Saturday has changed us all forever. It was a pivotal moment for me and for everyone who is struggling for the future of Israel. There is a lot of talk about the day after the war regarding the Gaza Strip. Who will control it, how, and whether the Israeli military will retreat or remain. But for me, the bigger question is, what will the day after be in Israel? Who will lead us? Who will redefine our character? There is no room for mistakes. Israel post-October 7 is standing at a crossroad which will determine our characters for decades to come. We are standing today at the edge of an abyss. And those of you who keep updated on daily occurrences in Israel, as I'm sure many of you do, surely feel how this abyss is deepening and growing darker every day. It is frightening and alarming. And it can lead to despair, rage, and shame. I'm here today to humbly pledge to you all that as a Jewish Israeli leader, I am fighting with all my strength for the day after. And the reason I do so here, facing all of you, is because on October 7th, we restated and re-ratified our commitment to the states of Israel as well as to ourselves. This struggle of ours is not a day or two old. It's not. Its foundations have been taking root for many years now. But with this defining moment, the very Israel that we have been fighting for has risen up. Early on the morning of October 7, women and men set aside their personal life and without hesitation signed up to fill the vacuum left by the state. Army reservists, not on duty, stepped out to protect others with their own bodies. Youth left their homes to save strangers. Unbelievable humanitarian structures were built overnight to serve thousands. the incredible infrastructures we created in 9 months of protest across the country, led by people that were just a minute ago called traitors, were now replacing the government, replacing the state in the biggest emergency this country have ever seen. And not only Jews stepped up. From within the terrible crisis, a sense of shared fate emerged. On the morning of October 7, while Muhammad Deif, one of the Hamas leaders, called on Arab citizens of Israel to join the massacre, heroes from Rahat and the countless other Bedouin villages in the Negev left their homes to save their Jewish neighbors from Kibbutz Be'eri and the Nova Music Festival. So while Ben-Gvir, our Minister of National Security, continued his incitement against the Arab citizens of Israel, millions of Israelis were watching and sharing the stories that we at Have You Seen the Horizon lately broadcast of our Arab neighbors who rescued hundreds of people from the hands of Hamas. And as the government evacuated people from their homes without tending to the most basic needs, we recruited thousands of Jewish and Arab volunteers to help with packaging and distributing food and medical help to families all over the South. The first Jewish-Arab Emergency Relief Center that we founded in the Negev with our partner, the Itach Maki organization, helped thousands of Jewish and Arab families that were hurt by the attack. But even more so, in the middle of their darkness, it was a ray of light, reminding us that this is not a war between Jews and Arabs. Faced with horror, we witnessed the best of humanity revealing itself from within our neighbors and ourselves. I would like to seize this opportunity to promise you, to promise myself, to promise my family, that we will finish what we have started. I will finish what I have started more than a decade ago when I realized that I will devote my life to my country. This award calls upon me more than ever before to deserve it. I will not stop until we will win. I will not rest until Israel is the state we all aspire to. An exemplary state of democracy and equality, anchored in the notion that all humans are created in God's image, a safe and secure home for the Jewish people and all of its citizens, an Israel whose children are not in danger, an Israel that does not endanger the children of others, including the children of Gaza, a home of peace. So no, we are not our government. We are the exact opposite of everything it represents. We are stronger and better than it. And together with your help, we will rehabilitate Israel and lead it back from the ashes. We will again be proud of our country. We will continue to guard our democracy, and we will save it. We will rebuild it. This is the mission of my generation. We are ready for it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.